Fall, every 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer. And if one of those bottles should happen to fall, every 97 bottles of beer on the wall, 97 bottles of beer on the wall.
Hi, everybody. There's a very good chance you've heard the song played many times. You probably even sang it as part of growing up as a child or maybe even as an adult. In this video, we're going to walk through what it's going to be like to create an app, very simple one, that prints the lyrics to 99 bottles of beer on the wall using nothing but JavaScript in our console. There's a lot of fun techniques that we run into, especially given the lyrics are not just repetitive, but they build upon each other. And so there's a lot of cool techniques that we can kind of touch upon that would be pretty beneficial, just more broadly. So let's get started. Before we get into the coding, let's just look at the lyrics for this. And right now I'm on the exercise page for 99 bottles of beer on the wall on Karupa.com. And as part of that, I have the description of the lyrics right here. And the way the lyrics go, let me zoom in a bit so you can see it more clearly, is you start off with 99 bottles of beer, and the lyrics repeat itself again by saying 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer, take one down and pass it around, and then it decreases the value from 99 to 98 to 98 bottles of beer on the wall. So this is one verse, essentially. And then the second verse picks up where the last one left off. So it starts off at 98 and it ends at 97. The third verse starts off at 97, ends at 96. At this point, you can see a pattern emerging where we keep starting from a number of 99, going all the way down to we have essentially no more bottles of beer. Some of the quirks or the exceptions here is that the grammar of how the lyrics will be structured will vary depending on the number of bottles available. So if we have many bottles, you have the S for bottles to making it plural. If you have just one bottle, we change the lyrics to say one bottle of beer on the wall, one bottle of beer. Take one down and pass it around, no more bottles of beer on the wall. So you don't say 0 bottles of beer on the wall, we don't go to negative territory, we just say no more bottles of beer. And then the very last lyric that we run into is when you have no more bottles of beer on the wall, no more bottles of beer, go to the store and buy some more, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. And now you can imagine the whole thing starts over again, and you keep playing the song until pretty much you get too tired of singing. And so that's the general gist of it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some of these lyrics and take it into the code editor itself, just so I have a reference point of what I can look at. So I'm going to go ahead and, we have a blank page here. There's nothing going on. You can see the side panel is just saying the title, 9 bottles of beer on the wall, and our script tag is currently empty. And it is here where we're going to be going ahead and writing the code that will print to the console the full lyrics to 99 bottles of beer on the wall. And so let me just first paste the lyrics I just copied and put it in here. And I'm just leaving it in the string template literal form. And so the main thing to first start with is that we're starting with a value of 99 and then going all the way down to 0. And a great way of being able to pull this off is to use a loop. Let me zoom in a bit and make this side of the window a little smaller so you can see more. And so let's go and start with that. Let's start with the loop. I'm going to do for let I equals 99. So I'm going to be starting at a high level and then slowly going down to 0. I equals greater than or equal to 0. And I minus minus. You probably are very familiar with the loop format where we start with an I or initial value of 0 and incrementing up. But you can also go backwards as well. The loops are pretty flexible in how we determine the starting point, the ending point, and the condition that triggers the ending point. All right, and so let's start with the first value. Let's say that we know that for almost all the plural cases, we're going to have something that is going to be multiple bottles of beer on the wall, and then we throw it down, less bottle on the wall itself. So I'm going to start by first saying if the value of I is greater than 2, so we have more than 2 bottles of beer, if I is greater than 2, I want to print the values that we see on the screen right now. So I'm going to let me create a variable called lyric. That lyric equals quotation mark. Let me space up console. Actually, I'll do console.log of the lyric just below it. So right now nothing should be there. And then I'm going to set lyric equals to take one down, pass around, and bottles of beer on the wall. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this just so we can make sure that everything is working as intended. So I'm going to hit refresh, and now you can see that 99 bottles of beer on the wall has been printed, and it's been printed multiple times. You can see actually it's printed 97 times, which sounds about right. Now, what we're going to do next is, instead of it being printed 99 times, let's go ahead and change it a bit. And so instead of it being 99, let's actually have it be parameterized and use the string literal syntax for a template approach, and just have $, curly brackets, and I. Similarly, $, curly brackets, and I, where we had 99 hard-coded. And then where it says 98, we know that is the similar value of curly bracket I minus 1. So you're one less value down. Let me save it. Let me hit refresh. And now once I've done this, you can see that 99 bottles of beer on the wall. Take one down, pass around 8 bottles of beer on the wall. Okay, let's look at this, move it over a little bit. And one thing that kind of bugs me already at this stage is the spacing. You can see that even though in my template literal approach, I have a line break specified, it shows up with all these extra space characters. And that's just a quirk of how the template literals work in JavaScript and how console.log works as well. There are libraries you can use to essentially remove all this extra space. I'm not going to bother with that. Instead, I'm going to do it in a very, very crude way. I'm going to put a console.log statement and put the first line of what we want to do in here. So console.log, beer on the wall. Okay. And the next console.log statement will be line number 2. Take one down, pass around. And then I minus 1 numbers of beer on the wall. Okay. And so I can go and delete the console.log lyric. And now let's refresh this page. You can now see that, yeah, we're in a much better spot. You can see that 99 bottles of beer on the wall, take one down, pass around. And we do want to give it a little bit of space here, so that's like a line break. And that we can actually do by just hitting enter and giving an extra space at this point. And this line break now kicks in. So this looks a little bit better. Now, you don't have to do any of this. You don't have to spend the last 30 seconds like I did to explain my logic behind it. But that's a nice touch to what we're trying to do. And so what we have now is we have the bulk of the lyrics already printed from 99 all the way down to 3 bottles of beer on the wall. We actually might want to make it to greater than equal to 2, because up to 2 bottles we're fine. So let me make that 2 bottles of beer on the wall. Okay, and so now we get to the special casing where our lyrics are a little different if you have 1 bottle, and then if we have less than 1 bottle. So I'm going to do if I equals 1. And in this case, what are we going to be printing to the screen? So let me just just for fun, copy all of the values I had earlier, console.log, and just start replacing it with 1 bottle of beer on the wall. In this case, it's okay to be hard coding the 1. You know, I could use the similar template syntax by putting I in there, but in this case, there's no reason for it. We know it's going to be just 1 at always. It's going to be 1 item, and so I'm going to replace that with 1. Refresh the page, and if I were to refresh the page now, you can now see the last line, last lyric, says 1 bottle of beer on the wall, 1 bottle of beer, take one down and pass around, no more bottles of beer on the wall, which is exactly what we had wanted. Now the next item is going to be if the value of I equals 0, which means that we have no more bottles of beer on the wall. You know, that's a tragic situation for those of you who enjoy the song and drinking beer at the same time. But not to worry, once we make the call out to say that no more bottles of beer on the wall, the tangible action item here is to go to the store and buy some more, and the song starts over. So let's see, save, refresh the page, and now you can see no more bottles of beer on the wall, no more bottles of beer, go to the store, buy some more. All right, so we have all this going. Let me just clean up our code a bit by removing the lyrics I just kind of copied and pasted from the actual exercise page on crypto.com. Link to that article is in the video description below. But yeah, this is not too shabby in terms of how you can do it. It's a very basic way of doing it. When you look at the submissions that others have provided, you can see some pretty snazzy versions, including some that use the web audio API and the speech synthesis API to actually have the lyrics be played or read out loud by JavaScript using its own built-in voice capabilities. So that's pretty advanced as well. So there's a lot of cool and creative and more concise ways you can make all this work. I just showed you one approach, and I hope you found it pretty enjoyable. Now you're done with the examples, there's just one more thing I'd like you to do. One of the best ways to become a better developer is to be part of a great community like Curva Forums, where everyone is interested in learning and also helping each other out. So once you've completed this exercise, share your results with others to celebrate all the great progress you made, to ask questions if you're stuck, do you want a code review, or do you just want to get better feedback on how you can do better next time. So when you share your code or link to your example, you'll earn a badge to commemorate that you have completed this exercise. As you complete more exercises, you'll be earning more and more badges. By the end of it, you'll be a highly decorated developer. You'll be the envy of your peers. You'll be the king of the castle, and so on. And with that, I will see you all next time.